day 30 with Dorado, and I took him to my friend's Rebecca's, and you see Rebecca was holding him for me. He got to visit with other people. So it was really good, another good experience for him. So here I'm working on teaching him to move his hip actually towards me. Now, before this, I had done side pass work where he moved away from me. So now I've introduced him. This is a stick that I have that has a ball at the end, so it doesn't sting how some stick. It has a nice kind of touch to it. So you see his reaction to things is to push into it, and then he gave a little buck there. But I rewarded him for when he came to me a little bit. So again, I'm expanding his language a little bit. So I'm trying to get just one step to me. That's all I'm asking for. And then I'm going to go back and rub. And so now I'm starting the other side where I have the stick just on the other side. And sometimes it's hard to get him to start to understand the initial task that I'm asking him to do. So it has to be very, very quick that I give him the response that I'm looking for. So again, I'm just tapping this. He wants to move away. I kind of just want that hip to cross over to me. But I'm going to hold this until he just got a little frustrated, so I just stopped. I'm going to come back over to this side. I'm working on tapping the same spot. And again, like that little ball on the end is really nice because it's in no way leaves a mark or stings, or it's just an extension of my hand, just tapping. So I'm just waiting this out a little bit. Sometimes I try to increase the pressure. And there he shifted his body to me, so that's where I gave the reward. And again, this was a really good practice. There was a fair amount of people there. There's people riding other horses. It was a really good experience for him to kind of be out and have to learn something new. So now I go to the other side. I'm trying to tap in the same spot. I increased the pressure a little bit and he got worried about it, so I just stopped and I held it there. I'm going to ask, there, that was really good. So then I back away to give him that nice reward. I get the lick and chew. So sometimes it just takes him a little bit to kind of figure out, and we have to go through the motions of him trying to figure out the task. And there I got the next step, and that's all I'm going to ask for, just those baby steps. So then after that, we went and introduced him to the ball for the first time. So I have a cookie. So anytime I introduce him to something new, I try to give him a positive reward. He handled that really well, so I gave him a cookie. It's been really fun because this horse was very insecure, kind of in the beginning stages. He was afraid of almost everything, and now he's getting very confident, and he really enjoyed the ball. So it was really fun to kind of see him start to figure it out and kind of enjoy it. So even here he starts to learn that he can bump it with his feet. That was really good. And now I'm going and practicing kind of some of my in-hand work. He's getting pretty good at doing his pivots on the moving his shoulders away. And now we're practicing our stopping. That's getting pretty good. So I use my voice cue of ho. And now I'm on him now. So he's pretty sticky-footed about going forward, but he's actually really good about going backwards. So I'm using my friend Rebecca kind of as a lead horse to help us learn to go forward, because again, he's pretty sticky. And if you guys saw kind of in the beginning when I'm trying to teach him something new, he's very, what's the word? Not set in his ways, but it takes a fair amount to convince Dorado sometimes. I try to break them down into steps as much as possible and make it as positive as I can for him. So he's handling this pretty well. Again, there's strange people over there sitting, so we have to walk past this. You see he kind of wants to keep his eye on the girl sitting there. He doesn't kind of want to see her behind him, but I'm trying to keep him focused on walking forward. And then what he tries to do is when he gets a little frustrated, he tries to go to bump up into the trot. But so now I'm trying to distract him with the ball because I know he likes the ball. So that was actually really good. And see how he wants to track the ball. He's probably one of the first Mustangs, well, besides Wynn, who really enjoys tracking the ball. And again, that's really good to have a person there roll a ball towards a horse, so sometimes they can get afraid of stuff coming to them, and he handled that really well. So now I'm asking him to kind of push the ball a little bit, try to get his mind on it. Just giving them the time. And then he starts to figure out he can do it with me on his back. And it was really good. Now, this is the first time I've introduced him to a tarp, and he really didn't care. It actually shocked me. I thought he would care more because of the sounds, because he is a pretty sensitive horse to sounds. And as you can see, there's people behind him, other horses. So, again, really good environment to kind of get him out. And he just was perfectly happy with the tarp. Getting him to change directions. Now I got to get him to do it in the right eye. He trots over it really nice. So I just have to watch that he doesn't come into my space too much. He still likes to drop his shoulder a little bit. But that was really good. Give him a good rub. And then he went over this pretty scary thing, which no problem. So I was really happy with our outing. And he actually learned how to load up on my head-to-head with the other horses and did a really good job. It's almost easier for him to back up because then he can see me and he stays a little happier. So it was a good little visit to North Atlanta Equestrian to kind of get some more experience for Dorado. I got home, I gave him a little bit of a break, but I wanted to go back and work on a couple of things because you saw he was still pretty worried about people behind him. So right now I'm working on going and standing behind him and giving him a reward. So I'm trying to teach him to stand. So I'm telling him the word stand. And then I went and switched eyes. That was really good. And I'll give him the bridge sound, so the cluck sound. So he knows that he did something good, which has been really helpful. So this is a really big deal for him because, again, this is kind of his biggest worry. That was really good. And I do it one more time. And kind of just stand back there. And then that was really good. So now I'm just working on putting the saddle on. So, especially since I've had a couple of days where he was bucking, I want to make sure that even though he did a fair amount today, I'm just going to go back, put the saddle on, sped this up for you guys. He's doing pretty good about ground tying, putting the saddle on. I just want him to make this session nice and easy, getting him to really feel that saddle, moving around. Consistency really is the key with these guys and getting them comfortable with this. And so now I'm going to ask him to the trot. And this was really good because you saw he got a little tense right there and he stopped himself. So big improvement from yesterday. We didn't have a buck. So that was really good. I'm going to give him a rub and make him go the other way. That's really good. And ask him for the stop. Now I'm going to untack him. Again, sped it up for time purposes. He's getting much better about me moving to different sides, putting things away. And now I'm just going to go back, ending the session with kind of where I started. which is the fun game of walking around him and giving him the reward.
Good job. Good boy.
Give him a good rub, let him know he's good, and go back, do it again.
Yay! Good boy,
And give him the
Dorado.
reward. That was really good. He didn't even move.
Dorado.
They really reward him with the rubbing.
Well done, bud.
He came in for a good head scratch. So really good day with Dorado.